We've got the top 5 most unique spells of Starfinder.
No, 3. We got 3 spells.
We should get 2 more then.
There aren't really...
No, we got to get 2 more so that it's top 5 so that it works really well for SEO so that we get more views.
About SEO, there's just like...
but
these are 3 interesting spells. We don't need 2 more spells.
Yeah, we absolutely do, because if we don't, I'm going to add Magic Missile and Force Push.
Force Push? This isn't Star Wars!
There's a whole race of Jedis.
There's not. There's not.
It's the Jedi species.
Also, the Jedi aren't to speak.
It's the midichlorians in their blood cells. Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon, and welcome... No, wait, hold on. Sorry. I don't even know what I was doing. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug.
And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 minus 2 unique spells for Starfinder.
We feel like a lot of our audience is very familiar with Pathfinder and not very familiar with Starfinder. And so we wanted to go over some of the interesting, unique spells in Starfinder so that you can get a kind of idea of some of the cool flavory things that are available in Starfinder that you won't necessarily find in Pathfinder.
I also think it's funny that we're going to be making this episode the week before we start streaming Dawn of Flame.
Yeah, and by funny you mean intentionally planned so that we can tell you about that live stream.
Yes, plug. Like my character's idea of magic is, yeah, cool, what piece of technology do you have that does that? I'd like to look at it. The week before, we're talking about magic!
So the first spell we wanted to bring up was Subjective Reality. This one, I think, super interesting, super kind of confusing to me, because the way it's written makes it seem like the way that you perceive the world legitimately affects how the world, affects you in return.
Well, that kind of makes sense. All right.
Yeah, to an extent.
Well, I'm sorry, the concept makes sense.
Sure.
I haven't gotten in depth on this spell, so I can't tell you how that's going to directly affect.
Let's go into it.
Okay.
You alter your perceptions to become convinced the target is an illusion. Because of that, as a direct result of you convincing yourself that the target is an illusion, you gain the following benefits against the target: immunity from non-magical attacks, as well as sonic, language-dependent, and scent-based attacks. Magical attacks from that target deal half damage, and non-damaging magical abilities only have a 50% chance of affecting you at all. Because you convinced yourself that they're an illusion? Does that make sense? I don't understand that. Alter your perceptions to become convinced that the target is an illusion.
Their normal attacks only do the amount of damage because you believe that they do that much amount of damage.
And so that having been established, can I make a very low intelligence character, then have a very high intelligence, very high charisma character convince me that everyone is an illusion, and therefore I take half damage from everything? Because that would be nifty. I really think that this should say you convince them that they are an illusion.
Yeah.
Because if your target isn't confident in what they're doing, or it maybe isn't confident that what they're doing is going to affect you, maybe that reduces its chance of affecting people. But the way this is written is the opposite of that, and I don't understand how that works. If I don't believe your fireball is going to do any damage to me, and then you shoot a fireball at me, it sure as is going to do damage.
I'm literally reading this over again and over again to make sure that we're not somehow you alter your perception to become convinced that the target is an illusion. For you,
yes,
the target becomes transparent and does not create sound or smell.
Exactly. It's not for everyone, it's just for you.
All right, so what it is, they take a pill. And the pill, they've become self-aware of that creature's existence in such a way that they're able to move quicker out of the way. That when their damage does get hit, it does less because the pill in which they have taken has become infused.
You struggling?
Yeah.
I don't hate the spell.
No,
the spell's awesome. So you get
the technology,
the technology's awesome. You get all those benefits, but there's a consequence to using the spell.
Okay.
The target also gets benefits against you. Your attacks deal no damage to the target, and your magical abilities don't affect the target at all. So basically, you can't affect that one target, but it has a very hard time affecting you in return. It's good if you're a squishy backline character, and you get bum rushed, dove on by something melee in your face, and then you're just like, hey, you don't exist. And then it's I can't do the thing anymore. It's probably pretty bad for a group versus a single opponent.
Yeah.
But in a group versus group situation, where the one like rogue in the back gets a sneak attack off on you, and if they hit you one more time, you're gonna die.
Get away and buff yourself, and then...
Or wait for your party to rally around you, sort of thing.
Exactly.
And it's also really useful when you use it to target starships. Because in that situation, I'm just kidding.
I was
You
like,
can't target
what?
starships.
I was like,
I'm totally joking.
oh.
You can't target starships, that'd be way OP.
Yeah, that'd be silly. Pew, pew, pew. Your gunner's like, stop casting that spell!
Okay, but there is actually one more situation.
Okay.
You, as the caster, can't affect, the target, but a proxy of yours can.
Yeah.
So if you've summoned a thing, or if you have like a pet, that can still do whatever normally.
Because it's not affected by what you perceive
yeah,
as
it's
reality.
not you specifically. It's not you and all of your agents. It is just you. Next up, we're talking about retrocognition.
This definitely sounds like technology.
Yeah, it does, because retro, and like when you think retro, you think stereos. Well, I do.
Think Game Boy.
I don't want to, whatever. Retrocognition is a spell that lets you basically see back into time in like specific increments. You can channel it for a number of minutes equal to your level, and as you channel, you see further and further back for an hour every time.
It's not like you're saying, I'm going to channel for 5 minutes, and then you get the answer at what the 5 minutes is. You get it at
increments.
Okay.
Yeah, at each 1 minute increment, you get 1 unit of traveling back. Because as you scale up in caster level, you can channel further and further back in larger and larger increments. I think it's by weeks, by years, and by decades. But if I'm wrong, the table's on the screen anyways.
Is this a self-targeted ability? Is this a person-targeted
It's a
ability?
self-targeted ability,
Okay.
but it's also within the area that you occupy. So it's
So if you're trying to figure out what happened in this
Yeah.
location 200
Exactly.
years ago,
Exactly.
you can, versus touching a human and be like, what happened
Yeah.
to you 200 years ago?
You're not-
and it's like non-existent.
No, you're not targeting a subject to learn about them. It's the area around you.
Yeah.
If you're at the scene of a battle and you need to figure out like, oh, what happened to this specific person because they got captured by the enemy. Like maybe did the enemy talk about it when they captured them? Oh, we have to take them to this location.
All I'm thinking about is echoes from Division 2.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Except
Technology, it exists. You're welcome.
like most interesting things, this has a consequence.
Okay.
So potentially, if a specific kind of like psychically turbulent event happens, you have to make a will saving throw, or you lose concentration on the spell. If you did succeed that saving throw, you'd be able to go further back and see like the events that led up to that, like what happened before that happened.
Is the DC based off of anything, or is it just a flat DC?
It's based on the severity of the event.
Okay, so it's under interpretation.
But it's, yeah, so basically no,
well,
I'd say.
I mean, it's not a flat one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a flat DC, like
Yeah.
no matter what, how like...
The DC doesn't scale with your level. Like
Yeah.
if it's something that's like a minor turbulent event and you're level 20, that doesn't make the DC 30. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
gonna be, what is it, 15? Like,
It's going to be a narrative aspect of from the GM whether or not they want to imply a heavier traumatic event because
Yeah.
they want to keep that wall of memory like blocked for a reason, like to make the story go on.
Yeah,
So
and
I like that it has like GM control over it.
it's the difference between the GM wanting the player to have the information or needing the player to have the information and just saying like, oh, there's a traumatic event to make the player feel like they've like overcome some kind of challenge, but they set the DC really low. Or having the GM say like, well, I could give you this information because you are expending resources right now, but it's not super important. This thing happened.
Yeah.
Like, give me a like actually like beefy skill check. The world isn't just like bowing down to them and giving them everything, while at the same time giving the GM all the tools they need to guarantee an outcome if they need to guarantee an outcome.
Yeah, I get that. Still technology though.
Next up, we're talking about prying eyes. It has the potential to be as creepy as it sounds, but it's also incredibly useful. So there are lots of scrying spells in Pathfinder, right? This one I think is pretty unique because of the way that it works. So you summon 20 eyes. They're considered fine constructs, so they're about as big as a small apple, which I'd
Okay.
say like maybe this big.
Okay.
And they have their own stat block, kind of. So they have 1 HP.
Okay, so I look at you, you die.
Yeah, basically. Their EAC and KAC are both 18. They have a fly speed of 30 feet. Their acrobatics is +20 when it's related to a flight-based maneuver.
Sure.
Their stealth is 16 and their perception is 20. They have a vision of 120 feet in a 360-degree radius around themselves. So they basically see everything. But they don't have any special kind of vision. They don't have like dark vision. They don't have like true sight. They don't have any fancy vision.
Sure.
But I mean, 360-degree vision is pretty fancy.
Yeah. 20 of them?
Yeah, 20 of them.
Yeah.
You just like go out and like shit.
That's basically what it is. It's actually really cool. They individually know everything you know.
Okay.
So they make like not stupid decisions. Like they understand your goals. You don't have to like convince them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And you send them out within a mile radius of yourself. And you can tell them, like give them instructions, like up to 25 characters. And they go and they look for the things that you asked them to look for, or go and stay in the place where you've asked them to stay. And then they come back to you and they basically like upload the information. You can't actively watch them and you don't know the status while they're gone. And so if they're destroyed, because they can be dispelled, they can be attacked and destroyed. If you get them back, they like give you all of the information raw. They don't like, oh, like he was there. Like you know exactly what they saw when they saw it.
Do they have like a perception check for themselves?
Yeah, they have +20 to perception. Just like, boop, there you go.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think this spell's super useful. I don't think it's any more useful than any other kind of scrying. Like, it's just a specific, like, generic scry. Like, oh, there's a thing that's important within a mile, but I don't know where it is. Poof.
The way I'm thinking about it is like this evil overlord that's like got a castle, you know, and I understand this is fantasy, right? Or this is sci-fi. Send out these little eyeballs like in like an intricate pattern.
Yeah.
And and they're like, they're told if anyone comes in or if you lose sight of one of your brothers that's nearby, come back immediately and tell me. As soon as someone comes in, they're like, and leave, right? And you're like, cool, I now have an early warning system.
And that's super plausible. All of you go to this one place where I know this one person is by themselves and just stare at them for as long as you can. I don't even need you to come back, just vanish.
Yeah. These are the coolest nanobots I've ever heard of.
Oh, God. The last one we wanted to mention.
Hold on.
What?
1, 2, 3. This is 4.
Oh,
Okay, this is Starfinder top 4 minus 1.
No, it's top 5 minus 2 plus 1.
No, top 5 minus 2 plus a bonus.
Plus, yeah. The last one's actually a cantrip, and it's something that sort of exists pretty commonly in RPGs, but the way this is written, because it's a cantrip, is pretty fucking great. Grave Words, and it's a spell that basically is Speak with Dead, but you don't get to ask it questions.
Okay.
You literally just touch a corpse, and then the corpse starts babbling. The GM rolls a percentile dice. There's a 10% chance that the corpse says something useful. 90% chance they just babble. It's a cantrip.
Yeah. Tell me something.
Well, I think I may have left the stove on. But
Damn it! Stop it! Tell me something.
Well, I think my friend may have
God
left the
damn it!
stove
Tell
on.
me something.
I wish I had bought a stove yesterday.
Let's just burn this body.
The other thing about it is that it can only affect a corpse once.
Oh.
And that's with the entirety of the world. Like you can that spell can only be cast on a corpse one time. So you can't like spam one corpse over and over again.
You're just like, hopefully there's like an army. And
Yeah.
you're just like, what happened? I love my gun. Damn it! What happened? What is that smell? Damn it!
I feel like casters will take this as a meme.
Sure.
And like use it maybe to scare somebody at some point or like something roleplay-y. But at some point they're gonna use it and they're gonna be like, the password of the terminal is apricot fingers. And you're just like, did that guy just give us the password to the terminal? Yes!
I think it sucks that it's only 10%. Like if your group wants to not be like a combat heavy group, right? They're like, cool, there's a corpse. They might have the secret password to the door that we need access in to get the item to then stealth it. Whatever the
Sure.
story is.
If the parties put themselves in a situation where they have to lean on that spell, I'm not gonna leave it up to a 10% chance that it works. It's gonna work.
Yeah.
Or maybe like if there's 2 corpses and like they cast it on one, the first one doesn't work.
Here's the thing though, is if your group uses it a few times, right, and continuously gets the right answer though, I think it being a 10% chance is the issue that I have. Like they should have just said like 50-50 chance or like 20, I don't know, because it's a 10% chance. I think that's the issue that I have, because then if it is successful multiple times, it's like, what's the real chances that the GM has?
Yeah.
You know, when it's 50-50 and you get 3 bad ones, or if you get 3 good ones in a row, you're like, well, that's the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Like, but if it's like 3 good ones, you're like, well,
How often do you roll below a 10 on a D100 when you're like casting Wish?
I mean, it's a 19 or 20 on a D20.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 10% chance. I don't know. I love the idea of the spell.
The flavor's great.
I would absolutely, as a GM, probably fudge that number more often than not.
Yep.
But I love the idea of the spell. I love the fact that it could just be like, what's that smell? Like,
and that's the other part about it, is you could be such a meme with like the actual rambling part of it.
yeah.
Like they can start singing their favorite song.
If you like pina coladas. Yeah, like they just start singing the Cantina song.
That's not my favorite song.
No?
No. Pina Coladas is not my
Oh, I was talking about the Cantina song.
Oh, that's a pretty good song.
Anyways, this is the end of the episode. This is where we tell you all the cool stuff that's going on in the future. Like the fact that we are going to be playing Dawn of Flame live on Twitch, 6:30 PDT on our Twitch channel, which is QueueTimes.
Yep.
Right? There's no like,
Twitch.tv/QueueTimes.
nothing special about it.
Yep.
And I'm playing in it. You're GMing it. We have a few other familiar faces. We have William, who's been on a bunch of our streams. We have Jonas, who's been on a bunch of our streams. Katie and Alex, who were both on the Marvel Heroic with you.
Yup.
And so we're bringing that whole cast back, and we're going to be playing Dawn of Flame. We're going to be playing through the first book.
Hopefully we get through the book.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous about it taking like 40 sessions as opposed to what we've planned.
If you guys like it and you want to see more of it, we might continue on and do the next book. But you'll have to let us know, and you're going to have to let us know by telling us in the comments that you're looking forward to seeing it. And then when it comes out, you're going to actually have to click that play button.
Yeah, that's an important button to click.
Yeah.
But for this video, why don't you go down and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new videos.
Yes, which will be Dawn of Flame.
Well, not just that.
Yeah,
There's
no.
also another tomorrow video and then a Friday video. The Friday video is interesting. You're welcome.
We interviewed Owen.
No,
who
I
is,
wanted to
I mean, we gotta advertise it somehow.
Fine.
We interviewed Owen, who's the lead developer for Starfinder. We actually sat down with him for about an hour and talked.
Super chill dude.
Oh, it's so great. You're gonna love it.
Owen's one of those people where you talk to him and you're like, yeah, he's right. Oh, he's right again. I'm pretty sure he's always right. Like he just owns this like thing, and he's just always right about it. You know? I just.
And he answered some long-awaited questions that we have had throughout the process. So I'm excited for you to see it. We definitely had a really good time talking to him. Until then, you can go to Twitter and talk to me, though.
Yeah.
You can talk to me there at IndigoQT.
And you can talk to me at QueueQT on Twitter, or you can talk to both of us at all these social media things down here. The middle one's not a social media thing. It's just the logo for our channel and for our website and stuff like that. It's QueueTimes.
We've been GameGorgon. Bye,
See you
everyone.
guys next time. Bye.